this off, welcome to the Jalloo Animation Festival of Gaming and Animation, I guess. Gaming as well, sorry, I always forget those guys. In a world where the economy fluctuates up and down as rampantly as it does, it's inevitable that companies are going to get big and they're going to get small occasionally. And we have a very great speaker who has experienced that more than once. He's inspired me personally on many different levels, and I believe that his stories about succeeding and the failures, if you will, that he learned from will inspire you as well. In life, when you do fail at something or something doesn't go quite the way you planned, you got to learn from that and make something out of it. And I personally think that Gene is great at that. He has the ability to pull opportunity out of nowhere and turn it into something. With Gene is Mike Valiquette. What?
Just pull it up somewhere.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid where I was going to come out of. I'm also supposed to be here just to moderate Gene's swearing. Everybody here seems adult enough that that should be fine. Joined with Gene, owner and creator and founder of Fat Cat 1, Fat Cat 2, and Le Jalloo. Boogaroo Animation, where, I don't know, I've had the pleasure to work for a little while. A lot of people in here have had the pleasure of working for a little while. It's destined for great things, and he'll tell you all about that. Mike Valiquette from the internet, animation resources. I honestly don't know much about Mike. He recently friended me on Facebook. That's all I know is he's my Facebook friend. And if you need to know anything about animation, you go to his resources at animationresources.com, and I will let you guys tell your story.
Okay, so are you going to seriously put a swear jar up?
No, God, no.
You should.
No, not here.
Probably wants to fuck no.
I'm not going to swear.
Everybody over 18? Yep. Anybody under 18? Show a hand. Oh, you're lying.
18 times 2.
All right, good enough. Roll.
Oh, yeah,
Are you not married yet, are you?
what? No, we're legally binded.
Legally blinded? You're so romantic. Great guys are legally
Yes,
Gene and Mike Valiquette.
I'm just going to actually try to keep the conversation moving a little bit. That's, I sort of jumped on at the last minute, having worked with Gene at Fat Cat as a recruiter at one point, and actually probably one of the first people to ever receive a portfolio from Gene when I ran Dynamite Cartoons back in around 1998. Yeah. Okay.
That's when you had long flowing locks.
That's also when I had long. Yeah. When
No, not me, you.
Yes. Yeah. I was incredibly handsome back then.
It's still pretty hot, isn't it?
But we're here to talk about Gene.
No. Show of hands. Who thinks Mike's hot? Oh, yeah. What are we talking about? Well, I have other things that are raising the roof.
So once upon a time, there was a little band named Gene Fowler who decided he wanted to be in animation. And
What? Oh, you want me to
we're
kick
talking
off?
about you.
Okay, right. Okay, so this is the rise and fall, and the rise and fall, and the rise and fall, and the rise, really, truthfully, of an animation studio. I graduated from NBCC membership in 1997. I'm looking at somebody who was here when I was 8. Was it 8? Okay. So myself and a few others. Was this Mike Catella in the room? No, right? No. Okay. Anyways,
He had work.
Huh?
He had work.
Mike doesn't work. Anyways, so Mikey and I and Dick McDermott, who's a local tattoo artist here, and another guy called Craig DeReaver, we started a company called Maritime Tunes. And we found, like, right out of school, it was hard to get work because you didn't have any experience. So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the artists are faced with that at the moment. So I said, well, fuck it, I'm just going to take the next job that comes along. And thankfully, Funbag out of Ottawa hired me to work at Helix in Halifax. And I was only in the industry for 8 months. And I didn't really like how Helix was being handled. And I got laid off anyways after like 3 years, or a 3-year promise of work. So I was like, where's the prestige, where's the commitment, where's the loyalty to a crew? Like, because when you're in school, they teach you about, hey, name and lights, you're going to get to work with an awesome crew, and it's going to be just, you know, so awesome. And it's tougher than that. It's a lot tougher than that. So, and this is Helix in Halifax, not Richard Lorway's Helix in Cape Breton. He runs a good shop. But they were twin studios at one point. Helix in Halifax is long gone. So I worked there for about 8 months, and then I got laid off, and I was pissed off. I said, you know, fuck it. I'm just going to put my portfolio up on the web and see what happens, because I'm going to try this whole freelance thing. It was 98, and putting your portfolio up on the web is kind of new and stuff like that. So it wasn't even like a day after I posted it that I got a call from this fast walker, dirty talker out of San Diego. And he sounded like a 1930s gangster, I shit you not. He was crazy. He phones me and goes, "Hey Jane, love your work, fantastic, golden. How much for some character designs?" And I said, well, let me see, I'm terribly busy because I was laid off, I had nothing to do. And I said, $1,000. And he goes, "Checks in the mail, click." And I was like, okay, I'll never hear from that fucking guy again. Next day, the very next day, tippity tap of the toes, the FedEx guy comes up the stairs, hands me a check for $1,000. And I was like, holy shit, this freelancing thing is real fucking easy. Real easy. So I said, well, I'll just wait till it clears, you know, always the doubtful. And so it cleared, and I did the work, and I sent it off. And 3 weeks later, I got a call from him again. Gene, lovely work, love it, golden. All right, thanks very much, thanks very much. I got a script here, 3 minutes. I want you to do a flash cartoon. How much? Flash cartoon, eh? Let me see. Flash cartoon. Carry the one. How about 10 grand? Checks in the mail. Click. Right? And so I was like, fuck, they are right, whatever. I'm never going to hear from this guy again. And the next day, the FedEx guy comes with 10 grand. Right? So he gives me a check for 10 grand, and I was fucking beside myself. Right? Because not only was, well, for twofold, not only was the dollar 50 cents compared, you know, to the US. So 10 grand was actually like 15, which is fucking yummy. But I had no idea what a flash cartoon was. Not a clue how to make one, right? I just got a computer. At Helix, we were just drawing cartoons on paper. I didn't know how to do one. So thankfully, a buddy of mine, Lee Tanner, who now works at Spilo, he knew how to make them. So I was like, fucking Lee, man, I need a favor. Are you busy? I'll give you,
I've got $7,000 paid card.
yeah. I got $500 to make a cartoon. I gave him half. I said, you help me make this thing, and I'll split it with you. So there's a lot of laid off people at Helix at that time, right? Murray Bain, who runs Copernicus, Rod Amador, who was best man at my wedding, he runs Big Jump in Ottawa, and Heather Garrow, a few others too. Like, we were just kicking around. So I hired all my friends, and I said, let's make this fucking flash cartoon. So we made a flash cartoon. It was 3 minutes. It was called Max Package. Love this wrestler with a big gong. Right?
Right up your alley.
Yeah, oh yeah, really, right? And I still have it. It's absolutely atrocious. I should really post it. It's fucking garbage. But he calls me up, right? He goes, Gene, love the cartoon. Great. How about another one? Here's the script. All right, man, no worries. 10 grand. All right, check's in the mail. Blah. Check came. Another one. Check came. So I'm 30 grand in, doing 3 flash cartoons, and then he gives me the ultimate phone call, right? And this guy, he talked so fucking fast, and he felt so slimy that you were just waiting to get fucked by this guy, right? But it never happened, right? He had the deepest pockets, and it seemed like no matter what I asked, I got as far as price went. So he was either incredibly smart, and he saw something in me that I didn't see, or incredibly stupid and had no idea about the business. And we'll find out later. But he calls me up a 5th time, and he goes, okay, Gene, you passed the test. I said, what the fuck are you talking about, pass the test? And I didn't say it like that. I was always like, yes, sir, well, thank you. I've been trying very hard. And I study every night. And he goes, I want you to hire all your friends and start a studio. How much? And I was like, oh, fuck. Let's throw me 50 grand. Let's see what happens. And so fucking The Wire comes through Western Union. Mr. Fowler, Wire is here for you, $50,000. Thank you very much. I'm like 22, 24 years old. I go on my ass for breakfast. And I walked down to the Western Union, and it's in the north end of Halifax. And if anybody's from Halifax or knows Halifax, you guys know the north end's a little dodgy. Anyway, so I go down to the Western Union, and the chickie like handles me through the fucking slit in the window, 50 G's, right? Here's your 50 grand, plus the exchange, which is actually $78,000. And oh, thank you very much. Yes, I was looking forward to it. $78,000, and I'm dressed like what's his face, Slash. Is Slash here? Guy with the fucking 17 wallet chains. Anyways, he's not here. Anyways, I looked like him when I was 22 or 24, and so I've got this wallet, you know, the size of a small Buick, in my back pocket, and I open it up and I stick $78,000 in it, and I'm trying to get it in there, and I try to button it and close it, and then I have to walk from the Western Union, because I don't have a car, Western Union in Halifax in the North End, to my little apartment in the South End, and you know, with $750,000 or $75,000 or so in my